Welcome back. Blake Cousins here, Third Phase of Moon. We're doing the radio show once again, taking your calls from around the world. It's very important. When people call in, they got the testimony, they got the UFO evidence, and let me tell you, it's lighting up right here at Third Phase, and it's my pleasure to bring you the best UFO sightings and testimony from around the world as we do it right now on Third Phase of Moon Radio. Give us a big thumbs up if you're joining us for this live show on the premiere YouTube. We're doing it. Blake Cousins again, and let's just do it. The phone lines are lighting up. Let's get to the first caller right now on Third Phase of Moon. It is 931. Welcome to the show. You're on Third Phase of Moon Live.
Thank you, Blake. It's good to be here. I'm calling
Where are you calling in from?
Cookeville, Tennessee, brother.
Right on. Welcome. What's going on over there in Cookeville, Tennessee?
Well, in the 1980s, I went to a camp in Mendocino County, California for kids. I was just a kid, and I went on to one of these activities from this summer camp for boys and girls called a 50-mile hike. We were 7 people. We were 3 boys, 1 little blonde-haired girl, 2 men staff members, and a female staff member. On our first night on our 50-mile hike deep in the woods of Mendocino County, California, we were abducted, taken onto the craft. I was laid down on the table and received implants, one up through my nose. My right eye was removed, and they put something in my ear. And the other hikers were doing the same thing. They were inside of a holding cell cubicle that was like a clear plexiglass. And I sat at the console, and I started pushing buttons. We are recorded in ancient Romania in the 14th century. We are recorded in the Second Ming Dynasty in ancient Egypt, and over 20,000 years on these lands that are now called America. We were time traveling, and I have all the proof. I have real pictures of real extraterrestrials of what they look like, and I also died physically back in time before my natural childbirth, and I went to heaven, and I got pictures of myself in heaven standing next to people who are very, very angry, you can say. And, I got pictures. I also sent you some pictures, a couple of videos. I had just recently sent you one today of one of the reptilian elders. He's dead, and he's in heaven. And I sent that to you today, this morning. So I got all the proof. I'm recorded on petroglyphs.
Let me just ask you a few questions before we delve into it, because this is incredible. It's our first caller right here on Third Phase Moon Radio, and you're telling me you yourself, along with your childhood friends, were taken aboard a craft, and they were experimented on, they were abducted, and you've got the video and photographic proof. Let me ask you, where are your friends right now? You guys are growing up, obviously. Are they still around? Could they back up your story here?
Well, they live in California somewhere. I haven't seen or talked to them in, since the 1980s. You see, I was just a kid. But I'm pretty sure that
What did you guys talk about it after the fact? Let me ask you about how you guys responded when you guys were kids after you guys were abducted. What did you guys talk about it after the fact?
Well, the little blonde-haired girl, when we came back to this timeline, to this time period, time traveling inside of the UFO, she said that something happened to us that night and that she wanted to go back to main camp. And us boys, we went on to the 50-mile hike because we were made to forget. And then we came back 2 days later on the 50-mile hike. We went into the main camp, and the staff director of the camp, he said, "Where's the lady and the little blonde-haired girl? They haven't came back yet. Are they with you?" They were still missing. So I have all this. I have all this information. I'm on Facebook, Kenneth Pass. I'm on YouTube, Ken Pass. I'm on TikTok, Bahana. You ever heard of the prophecy of the Hopi Indians? Well, I am Pahana. I got pictures of myself in heaven. I'm your true white brother. And I got pictures of everything. I'm supposed to have all the proof of everything. It's hopefully it's going to try to save our world instead of all these psychopaths try to destroying it, you know. It's a lot of stuff. I got a lot of information. I mean, I got tons of information. And I'm not talking
in the
about
1980s,
stuff off the internet.
When the children went missing, including yourself, for 2 days, you're saying when you got back to camp, they were still in a panic because the other children were still missing? What happened? When were they found afterwards?
They were found a day later. And they were, when we came back to this timeline, my hair was longer, my pants, I was wearing shorts, my shoes wouldn't fit. We spent about 4 years back in time traveling all through history. We're recorded on petroglyphs. The ring, the watch ring that was recorded in the Ming Dynasty, that's the lady staff member's wristwatch ring that was recorded in the sealed vault in the Ming Dynasty. That's her wristwatch ring. That's confirmation right there that we were back in time in the Ming Dynasty.
I'm going to have to follow up on this. What did your parents think of you? Obviously, they noticed an age difference. That you aged 4 years, you're saying?
We were also visited by a couple of people in not in uniform, but in very nice suits, and they wanted to talk to me. But my Uncle Marvin, he was pissed off that they came in the backyard and started harassing me, and he about kicked their ass, and they left. Basically, you're Men in Black. They didn't like the look of them, so
we're going to have to do a follow-up. I'm going to take your phone number down. Brent, if you could take this down. This is an incredible call. I think we should follow up, do a special, because if you got all this evidence, we should really detail your story, your experience. So let me just take a screenshot of. Well, you got it down. Okay, Brent's taking down your number. We're doing this live. Just stand by, everybody. This story is very interesting. So can you give me your first name, sir?
Kenneth.
Oh, yes, Kenneth. Okay, so we're taking down your number. We'll keep it definitely concealed, but Brent's taking it down. So as we get into this, have you been taken before, or was it only back in the 1980s when this happened?
I've been taken all my life. I've been taken all my life. I got pictures. I put up one of those trail cams in my bedroom. I got pictures of what, sneaking trail cam picture, and boom, say cheese. He's right there. So, I got pictures of them.
We got a lot of callers calling in, but I appreciate you joining us right here at Third Phase Moon, sharing your experience. Incredible, mind-blowing first caller. Appreciate it. We'll be keeping in touch. Let's do a follow-up.
Thank you, sir.
No, this is amazing. When we're opening up the lines, we get these experiences, these callers. Again, I don't know any of these people. They're strangers to me, but they feel obligated to come on this platform, Third Phase of Moon, and share their experience because people are listening. Our last radio show hit 40,000 viewers. It's insane. And people want to share their stories, and this is it. This is why we're doing it. Give us a big thumbs up. We're getting to the next caller right now. Let's go to area code 253. Everybody keep their stories down to about 4 to 5 minutes so we could get to as many callers as possible. 253, you're live, Third Phase Moon. How are you doing today?
Hello?
Welcome to the show. Where are you calling in from?
Federal Way, Washington.
Cool. You calling in from Washington. What's going on in the skies over there, sir?
I got a great view of Mount Rainier, where I live now. But I grew up on Beacon Hill in Seattle. And that's where I had my first encounter with a UFO. Can I tell you the story now? Can you hear me?
Got you loud and clear, sir.
Hello?
Let's hear it. You called in. Let's hear your story. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I was around 10 years old at the time, so I'm 69 right now. But I was outside dumping the garbage. It was dusk. I can still see Mount Rainier, and all of a sudden there's this object the size of a house. It was gold and it was shaped like an almond, like an eye. and it was silently moving across the sky coming from the west, moving to the east toward Mount Rainier. And it was silent. It was huge. It was bright, almost a gold color. And all of a sudden, it just took off, and it zigzagged across the sky, and it left a zigzag mark. And it took a few minutes, about 30 seconds before the light caught up to it. It like stretched a zigzag mark. And then I went towards Mount Rainier and zigzagged around Mount Rainier, and all of a sudden it disappeared, like it went inside Mount Rainier. And I freaked out. I ran in the house saying, UFO! And all my brothers and sisters come outside looking, and they didn't see anything. It was gone. I kind of went back in. But that thing was
crazy.
Huge, and there was
when
no
you get your
sound.
first experience that when you're about 10 years old, it kind of leads your life down a path of being a believer because you witnessed it yourself. What do you think it was?
It kept
out of this
kept me
world?
an open mind. Yeah, we're not alone. But I also had another encounter in 1994. I went to a crop circle in Hillsboro, Oregon at the time. And I sat in there and meditated for a while, and all of a sudden I just feel my body swaying back and forth like I was in a tornado. You know, it was a really weird sensation. So when I got home, I did my Qigong. I'm a martial artist, so I do a lot of Qigong and Tai Chi and all that. And all of a sudden, this white light zigzagged into my room like a ball of light, like an orb. And so I sat down and looked in my third eye, and this thing hovered above my head, and all of a sudden I was inside this orb. And what it was these beams of light. They all looked, there's like 3 or 4 of them, and they all had no features on their face. They're all blank. And all of a sudden, I can see the control panel. I can see the Star Trek where you see the window outside where you're at, you know, your television or whatever you want to call it. But it was like a different type of universe. Everything was geometric patterns everywhere, beautiful colors and stuff. I can't even describe it. But all of a sudden, the room got really big and huge, and I was inside this great big room, and all of a sudden, I can see this like a robot sitting in the corner, and you can see all the nervous system, all these lights running through all the nervous system, and the headdress was like leather straps with tentacles coming out of it all over the place. And all of a sudden, this thing lifted up and moved toward me and came right up to me like they put it inside my body. And I jumped up and I thought, oh my God, they're going to wonder where this energy is coming from in the future. So I've been doing spiritual healings ever since, and I've got some stories about some healings I've done. And one of the most biggest one was I work in a wellness center. And
explained that he was playing with the control panel aboard the craft, and you're explaining me the same thing pretty much in the exact same detail. This is incredible that people are experiencing the exact same thing. Appreciate you calling in, man. Keep in touch.
I've got some extraordinary powers. I got telekinesis. Nobody can come near me if they want to harm me.
Yeah, it's insane. I totally concur. I think they want to reach out. They really mean no harm, but they are curious, in my opinion. Tell you what, we got a video that I just received earlier today in regards to the ISS. NASA, never a straight answer. Well, anyway, I received an email earlier today, and it came from William Estep. And William Estep said he captured something out of the ISS. We're taking a look at it right now, and I'm happy to be sharing videos and taking testimony at the same time right here on Third Phase Moon. Guys, what do you think? What are we looking at? Is this some kind of, light craft? William was saying that it looked like an extraterrestrial craft. It's hard to say. Maybe it could be a reflection lens flare. But as I'm looking at it a little closer, it almost seems like it does have structure, like it's almost like a cigar-shaped blue kind of object. It's interesting what we're looking at, and I'm so happy that people are keeping a close eye on the ISS and all the activity. It's an interesting capture. I actually found the source, so we know this was definitely in the NASA feed. William actually had to film his computer screen because he just was watching it live, and this just happened. But as we're looking at it, definitely interesting stuff. Now I see that people are wanting to even build up even more. I haven't seen so many callers in such a short amount of time. Let's just roll it right now. Give us a big thumbs up for these live callers calling in. Let's go to area code 480. 480, you're live, third phase of the moon. How you doing today?
I'm all right. I just got one little story I want to tell you guys. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but
sure.
I'm in Arizona right now. This happened in Indiana. I don't know. It's just kind of weird. I'm sleeping one night, right? So you know how you get one of them nights where you can't really sleep? You're wide awake. There's nothing in this world that's going to make you sleep. You know what I mean? Like, you're looking at the clock thinking it's 2. Now it's 3. I got to be up at 8. You can't go to sleep. All of a sudden it hits freaking 3 o'clock in the morning, and I pass out. Like, I blacked out. Like, and I have this state of paralysis, I guess what you call it. I don't know. It was very, very weird because I didn't really realize anything, but this thing came down, and it was like bigger than the room, it seemed like. And at this moment, I'm freaking out, you know. And there's a voice in my head. It just said, it's behind you. That's all it says. It's behind you. Like, don't freak out. Don't, don't freak out. Don't hurt it, or I don't know. Just said, it's behind you, in that tone. And at that moment, I just snapped out of it. My body, I guess I freaked out too much. I woke up, and I'm in the living room. I'm sleeping on the floor. I woke up, turned to my left, and I see this dark figure come from left to right, and out of my peripheral, as soon as I see this, that thing that was in the room just went straight up, like darted out of the, I don't know how it's possible. But I woke up the next morning, and I have this thing on my eye, and I know it wasn't there, but it was pulsing like a zit, I guess, but it's not like red or anything. It was like a skin dot, but it was like kind of big and pulsing. 2 or 3 days later, it sinks in, like it just suctions in, and it's like a crater now right next to my face, my nose.
You know, there is a phenomenon when people are abducted or have an encounter. Obviously, there's sometimes missing time, but then at that same time, when they get back home, they realize that there's something strange embedded in their body. You know, we were friends with Dr. Roger Lear. He removed 17 alien implants, and you know, people that are abducted, he said, usually 50% of the time they're going to have an implant within them, or if they have an experience, they're going to find an implant. But what's interesting is Dr. Roger Lear refused to remove any implants above the neck because he didn't want any kind of liability. He would remove it from your hand or your arm or your leg or ankle, but he would never remove it above the neck, because he thought it would be too dangerous. And I thought that's an interesting aspect. The late Roger Lear, rest in peace. Appreciate it that you called in, sharing this incredible story. I'm not exactly sure what we could do to help with this, but there's a lot of people that have this phenomenon, the alien implant. So we're going to find out exactly what the reason is, but I got to fill in this because they want to track people. They also want to see how our biology works, but it's just my opinion. What do you guys think? We got a lot of callers in, so let's just get to it. People are lining up. So let's get to area code, 850. 850, you're live, third phase of the moon. How you doing today?
13.
See, the phone is in so about for you to hear.
All right. Little feedback here. We're going to get to another caller, which is fine. Let's go to area code 631. 631, you're live on third phase of the moon. How you doing today?
Yeah. Hi.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Where are you calling in from?
I'm from Long Island, New York.
Wow, okay, cool. We got people all over the country calling in. We're in Hawaii, you're in Long Island, New York, opposite sides of our country. What's going on over there? Did you have an experience? Go ahead. Share it with us.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I actually I've had a lot of experiences, but the one that I'm going to tell you about now happened in 2016. So I was getting these green lights in my tree, and they would spin and morph and turn. And so for, I don't know, on and off for like a week or so, these lights were showing up in my trees. And the light was always green, okay? And it kind of looked like one triangle facing up and then another triangle facing down, and then it would spin. But inside this, there were faces that I could see, different types of faces. So one day I was out in my backyard and the light was out there, and I went closer to the tree and I was filming it, and I said, you know, I really want to learn more about you. I said, who are you? You know? And then all of a sudden in my camera, because I was filming it, I see this salmon-colored, like, dot in the sky to the right of the tree where the green light was. And so I start following it with my phone as I'm filming it. And then I realized there's another one, and then another one, and another one. There were so many. I counted at least 30 of these salmon-colored discs. Now, when I looked in the camera of the phone, they looked small and like kind of oblong shaped, okay? But then when I saw with my eyes, it looked bigger, and in one of them it was lower, and I could see a being in it with my regular eyes, okay? But in my phone, in the camera, I couldn't see anything like that. So it was very strange, because when I looked at it afterwards, you know, I saw a lot of things that I didn't see with my regular vision that showed up in the pictures.
Sure. Yes. Sometimes when you're videotaping this with your phone or a device, your recording device, it actually picks up things better than your naked eye. But this is interesting that you're bringing up the fact that you were kind of wanting to communicate with them, and then all of a sudden you had this huge response.
Well,
was it kind of overwhelming?
I was having all kinds of interactions. So, like, not only was it happening in the physical 3D reality, but I was also getting, like, in my mind's eye, I was getting, like, telepathy, and I was getting, like, visions of who the different beings were. Because at the time, I had started acupuncture, which I had never done before. And I was laying on a table, on the acupuncture table, and I saw this like 8-foot, 9-foot tall being working on me. So anyway, part of this story, it's interesting because in the videos that I have of these salmon-colored discs, when I slow them down and I look very closely, there's also green, like these little flashes of green that are popping up all around these discs. And I can't even count how many of those there were, but they were green. So the light in my tree was green. The lights that were showing up in my trees were green. The discs that were flying over my head were salmon color. And then popping all around them were these green pops. You could actually see them darting across and then making like a quick left turn or a right turn. And when they make a turn, they actually turn into a disc-looking shape. So it'll look like an orb going across, but then when it makes a turn, it literally almost like collapses, and then it turns into like a disc shape, and then it goes, the other way. So, yeah.
Hey, I want to see the video. Did you upload it to YouTube yet?
No, I didn't upload anything yet, but I do have like a ton of stuff over the years.
Yeah.
But I did want to tell you about that story and what I found out.
Cool. Hey,
green...
you know what we need is evidence, and if you got the evidence, you should upload these videos to YouTube and submit it to us right away so we can take a look at it. Look, we got a bunch of callers lining up, but keep in touch. When you got these videos, let me know, okay?
I will. All right, thank you. All
Appreciate
right,
it. It's really cool. People call in, and sometimes we even get video evidence once we get talking to them. Not everybody has a YouTube account, but that's the easiest way to share your UFO videos to us right here. You upload it, copy paste that link to my email, and share it, and give a brief description. And if you really want to go the extra step, we're looking for people in regards to their testimony. They could also videotape themselves, explain what they saw, maybe go to the location that they shot it if it were at night, and get a daytime angle of the area of what it looks like in the daytime. All this stuff really helps, and we've been doing that a lot lately. People from around the world are sharing their UFO experiences via videotaping themselves with their testimony along with their video evidence. It really doesn't get much better than that. We got a lot more callers. Let's just get to it. Let's get to area code 231. 231, congratulations. You made it to third phase. How you doing today?
Hey, doing good.
Where are you calling in from?
Can you hear me? Oh, I'm
Yep.
calling in from Grand Haven, Muskegon, Michigan area.
What's going on in Michigan? Go ahead.
Oh, not a whole lot. Just thinking of an old experience I had. One of the best ones was a black sphere over the Grand River. I went out of my mom and dad's house. Happened to see something. I kind of thought it was a balloon at first, and when I looked at it, the willow tree, the way it comes up, you could easily see the black sphere like just hanging there. So I kind of just parked a minute because I was backing up and watched it for about 10 minutes. It didn't move at all. And this was 2005. I didn't have a phone. I was going to a buddy's house, and I followed it from the rear view of my car probably for about 2 miles down the road. And then the overhead trees blocked it. But that was probably the best, just a total black sphere. And if I could take a judge on how high and how big it was probably like a quarter mile in the air and at least the size of a bus by how big it was. Because I could say about, if you took a pencil all the way out, it was about the size of an eraser from your hand.
Was anybody with you at the time? Anybody else witnessed this bus-sized object hovering in the sky?
Nope. I went down to my friend's house that lived on the river, probably about 5 miles down. And I went down there and to the edge of the water, and I could not see it from that far. That's why I think it's only about a quarter mile from where we were, because I could see a good stretch down that river. And probably it wasn't quite to the bend to where I live on it, but, I mean, I should have been able to see it if it was higher than that. And it had only been maybe 3 or 4 minutes later. It wasn't too much.
Interesting encounter. What do you think it was? Military, extraterrestrial? I don't know. One of ours?
It had no lights. It had no nothing. I'm going to guess it was probably not from around here, but that's just my guess. I mean, I've seen other stuff. I've coming back from northern Michigan, and I've seen just the sun in one area and then just a huge emission of light, just huge. I don't know. I've got that on tape or video on an old phone that's broken, but I could possibly get that video. It's just light. Just an odd light. It's almost as bright as the sun, but in the clouds. And, stuff like that.
Well, I appreciate you sharing your story because bus-sized UFOs, we've come across it. My brother and I, we witnessed the infamous TR-3B. It came down upon us on our birthday, December 30th, 2010. And this TR-3B triangular-shaped craft that came down, descended upon us, and it was the size of a football field. And we were ready for it. But back in the day in 2010, we actually filmed this thing, but we couldn't capture it. We saw 3 lights, but against a black sky, we really couldn't make out the triangular craft of what we saw with our own eyes. But now we're ready. We got the new technology. Our night vision's a lot better. Brent, why don't you go ahead and grab me the psionics and show me what this new. You may have seen what we've been working on, but this is our new psionics. It's a night vision camera, but it actually shoots in color, full spectrum. And you may have seen some of our footage, but yeah, this is what the camera looks like. It's pretty small, but it has this Star Wars cool, sleek design. I like its white and blue inlay. Anyway, I'm not sponsored by these guys, but they do good products. Psionics, the Aurora model. People were asking about that, wanted to know what we shoot on. So hopefully that answers your questions. I wanted to thank everybody for joining us on this special radio show. Third Phase Moon's doing it, and we're going to be opening up the lines very soon. And if you missed your chance to call in and get on air, don't worry, we're going to be doing this real soon. People are digging this new format, the live radio show, along with videos and testimony. It's really, like I said, it really doesn't get better than this. Make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell to get notified when we do this again. And again, I have a lot of emails this morning with some pretty cool UFO sightings, so we're going to be posting that up real soon. So stay tuned for that. Everybody in the live YouTube premiere, appreciate you guys joining us. Your super chats, it really helps the cause. And I wanted to give another heads up. We got a second channel. It's called Third Phase. Kind of a clips, short clips of Third Phase of the Moon, and we've opened it up. We're putting up some of the quick clips of shows that we do in the day, so you could go take a look at it if you only got a short amount of time to look over this stuff. It's called Third Phase. And we're also going to bring some new content to Third Phase as well, be it Richard Giordano, Doc Skinner, Dr. J, UFO Proof. Everybody's kind of going to join into Third Phase and bring original content as well. And one quick other shout out, Paula Asteria, she started up her YouTube channel. She did her first live show last night, and she's got more content coming up. That's about it right now. We're going to be back real soon. I appreciate you guys joining us. Keep your eyes on the skies, everybody. Blake Cousins. We'll see you real soon.